tomorrow. And we're going to be having it on Thursday. Come and learn the genius with us. Free training. Great for people that you're referring. Great to get back to the basics. So much fun. I've got new presentations, new information on the new version and things like that. So it will be absolutely awesome. It's super fun so far. All right. Oh my gosh, we got so much to talk about. Great presentation, testimonials. Let's go ahead and record this. Hello and welcome to our weekly Terahertz training. It is so good to be with you. If you want a place where you can talk about terahertz, learn more about the terahertz technology, get your terahertz technology, which we usually have specials or coupons or things for you, then you can do it right here at our weekly terahertz training. And maybe you want to get terahertz, but you're not too interested in joining an MLM and you want to just buy it and get on with your life, then you came to the right place. But even if you got your terahertz somewhere else, you're warmly welcome here because we want to create a community of terahertz training, learn more and more about this amazing technology. We want to teach it to you. Hello, Dana. Dana, welcome. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Jeff. So good to have you. Patricia and Pat from NYC. Good to have you. And Wendy. Tammy is here. I love it. And Kathleen is here. It's so good to have all of you. Agnes, a warm welcome. So glad that we were able to get you some terahertz. Hello, Benet. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. How is everybody?
I hope everybody's well. You know, when at first you appear like right below me as like one of the squares that I'm looking at. Reminds me of the Brady Bunch introduction. Here's the story of a lady named Benet. How you doing? So how's your week been?
I'm doing well. The week is going.
All right. Fantastic. I'm so glad that everybody is here. Now, just starting things off, I did get a message from somebody that said, you know, I don't think the terahertz is working for me. And she had, I read the list to you, Benet. I should probably have it in front of me. But, you know, she had just about everything under the sun that you could imagine. She might be on with us. If she is, a warm welcome. No hard feelings or anything, but she was saying that she had sciatica, plantar fasciitis, headaches. I mean, everything, you know, tennis elbow, anything that you could imagine that she had pain. It was actually really upsetting to know that somebody lives in that much pain and has so many pain issues. And she was saying, you know, when I use the terahertz, it works, but then my pain comes back. And she's like, I don't think this is any better than the heating pad that I'm using. And, you know, if somebody like that really, you know, is not happy or whatever, we totally understand. But I really encouraged her to keep going because I truly believe if she's getting pain relief, that the terahertz is doing something that is building up a momentum. And eventually she could have a breakthrough where she's actually pain-free for a longer and longer amount of time. You know, my mentor in naturopathic medicine used to say, for every year that you've been sick, you need at least 1 month to heal your body. So if you've been sick for 6 years, it's going to be at least 6 months. It's going to be 6 months of terahertzing. But so what? At least you're getting better. Benet, what do you think?
Well, I think I've mentioned this before. I know I have in a webinar. You know, if somebody has one localized area like a shoulder or a knee, you know, they may get relief and the relief may last quite a bit longer. I have issues in my whole lumbar section. I have bone spurs that are pressing against my spinal column. And I'm probably facing somewhat of a mini microsurgery because it's gotten that bad. I have continued to use the terahertz ever since I got the wand, which has now been probably 9 months ago. And I use it or the box every day. I experience pain relief. Will I ever experience no pain? I don't think so. I would like to think so, but anything, when you live with a lot of pain, anything to some reduction is better than nothing.
I think, yes.
Use these tools. You can't just use them one day and then think, well, okay, tomorrow comes and, I've got pain back again. No, 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 no. If your issues are that many, you need to be consistent, with using it. So that's my personal experience of it. And I'm sure that would help anybody who has a lot of issues that are going on versus just a couple of single areas per se.
Yeah, actually, Petty in the chat, she said she has to do it long enough to hold the frequency. And that's so smart. Like, that's right. You have to keep building. It's like building up and building up and building up and building up. It's a momentum, until you really, like she said, hold the frequency. And so, yeah, I mean, hopefully we can encourage people to keep going. It's so easy to want to give up when we don't get instant gratification, when we don't have the instant fix, but that isn't how healing of the body works.
No, it does not.
And Penny says, I have almost all my age spots gone on my hands. It does sometimes have to relieve the pain if pain is from an injury to heal from it emotionally. Yeah, I was really struck by all the pain that this woman was in. That was one of the comments I made to Benet. I really feel like there's a deeper wound that was going on for her just from reading the different issues. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk terahertz, all right? Thank you to everybody who has gotten their terahertz core box through us or their wand through us. We really appreciate you and welcome. Got your wand or your terahertz technology somewhere else, of course, you're welcome. But if you just got it, congratulations. We're so happy and excited for you. A quick summary, and I will show the box more without my, let's maybe do it back so I get in the habit of doing it. Let me just stop sharing this for a moment and I'll share it right here. Oh, that's a pretty good angle. So there's been a comments that you and I are so tiny that people can't see the technology when I'm showing it, Benet. So I'm going to try to unshare the screen at different times. But anyway, this front is fragile, everyone. So if you've just gotten your core box technology, be careful. You may want to get a case. Now, I'm going to send the link to this case. Anybody can order it on Amazon if they want to. We will eventually have it on the website as well. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. We just want to have it so that people have it. Now, can you see this, Benet? This is a lot slimmer than the original case. Can you see it?
Yeah. And I need to get that link. Yeah.
All right, I'll definitely get it as soon as I have a moment to kind of pause here. But it's like the curling iron or flat iron. And so it's made for that. And then inside, it looks very similar to your original case, which I love the concept of. And so you put your case right here, and then you put your plug, and it rests right in here. And it is so nifty and sleek, and carry it with you. And you're going to look cool when you're going over to your friend's house, and you've got your terahertz with you, and it can't go anywhere. So really keep it in your case most of the time, everybody, please. It's going to be a lot better. And a lot last a lot longer. Sarita says, I get my core box tomorrow. I remember shipping it out to you, Miss South Carolina. I sent that over to you, Sarita. So I'm excited for you to get it and hear how you're doing with it. And so congratulations. Paula, I think you might have gotten yours, or it might be on the way. It's so fun to hear of people getting their technology and using their technology. Like, that's always like really exciting. And today, February is, in my opinion, I don't know if it is in your neck of the woods, but I know you just had that snow, but here in Portland, it is the most difficult month of the entire year because you don't have 1 ounce of sunshine left in you in Portland by the time February rolls around. But February is like the rainiest month ever.
Really?
So anyway, it was cold, and I think it was going to snow in the next couple of days. So I got out the wand and I took my shoes off, and my feet were like little icicles. And so I took the blower and I was warming up my feet, and I felt totally different afterwards. I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel out of it. I just, you know how you just get a chill in yourself and you can't get rid of the chill? And instantly, and I could have done it with the core box too. I just had the wand handy and I wanted that really super warm setting, and it just made instantly warm my feet. My feet weren't cold. I used that kidney 1 point, which I think would really help because it must have been I mean, I was up late, which I usually don't stay up late at all, preparing for the learning intensive. And I think just that lack of sleep really did me in. And so I was just overly cold. Anytime I've ever gotten sick, knock wood, I'm gonna be healthy, but it's always in February. There's just not one little lick or sparkle of sun left. I think a lot of people, that's why they go on vacation in Portland in January and get the heck out of Dodge for these really cloudy times of the year.
Wow.
All right, let's see if anybody else has anything to share and talk about, and then we're going to get into testimonials. Oh, Paula says she received her box on Saturday. I love it. Paula, thank you. I'm so happy that you love it. And we are going to, I think we'll extend, maybe we'll give away something different, but we are going to give away a little duo prize. It's going to be one person will get a case and a phone stand, a core box stand, and another person will get a case and a core box stand. We're going to give away two, but we did have some testimonials, so we'll have to think of a prize for next week so we could get some more people to participate. All right, your terahertz is basically frequency that your human cells, our cells, absolutely love. Think of it like the sun. They want to be out in front of the sun, absorbing up the sun. We're finding out now that your cells want to be just lapping up that terahertz frequency. There's something really special, and I believe our terahertz frequency comes to us at this time for a reason. I think humanity really needs this terahertz frequency. Hang on one second, just having a little technical glitch. All right, so there we go. All right, seems to truly resonate with our cells, happens through a process called entrainment, similar to the genius. I think the genius and the terahertz together are a great combination, helps to clean up the free radical forming cells. It's an overall wonderful wellness tool. We know that the terahertz is between the range of 0.1 and 10 terahertz, and we know that we're just starting to learn all the great benefits it has for human health. So we're going to get into a terahertz testimonial in just a moment, just a reminder of all the good things that our terahertz does. And none of these are meant to be promises of cure. Remember that the statements we're talking about with people's experience have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Okay, let's start with Anne. Anne says, my husband has eczema on his wrist. Thank you so much for sending this in, Anne, and has been using the blue light on it for 2 days, morning and night. It started out the size of a 50-cent piece, and it's shrinking down in size every day. It seems also to be drying it out and making it not itch. Pretty good. And I think she said she used the blue light for that. And I think this was for her as well. Let me just see. Yeah. Let's see. No, is this the same person? Let me just see here. I think this is Anne again.
The itching, the itching, by the way, no matter whether it's eczema or poison ivy or whatever, you will always receive a diminishing result of that itching, which I think is wonderful. That'll drive you nuts.
Fantastic. Let me just see if I may have reversed these. So I'll say DS sent us. Let me see if she's around today, if she knows who she is. I'm going to say just the initials. I don't want to tip everybody off to who everybody is. Let's just see who we've got here today. Okay, she's not here, so if I'm screwing everything up. So we have another testimonial. I started using the Terahertz box on January 14th, twice a day with red the first week. My left knee has degeneration. I have varicose veins, non-bulging on my left calf, and the ligament outside of the leg gets very tight, which makes normal gait very difficult. That would be very uncomfortable. I use the box on the knee and the veins on the side of the calf, both ankles and spider veins on both ankles. This is before I used the box on kidney 1 and pericardium 8. It was early days for me. I've had the right knee replaced, so I don't use the box on that knee. Okay, so here's the testimonial part. I started using the Terahertz. Oh, I see where I screwed this up. So the morning of the 26th, I did this treatment, and for the first time, I alternated with red light and blue. I also rubbed some deep lotion on the side of the calf. I spent 3 to 4 hours standing on a street corner in the cold to help with the campaign. And I was surprised to have little discomfort in my left leg. That was a significant benefit of the terahertz treatment for me for the first time. So I think she's
Wow.
getting some, yeah, some really good pain relief and was able to stand on that leg. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Isabel says, I've been using the terahertz, I should say terahertz, box for a few minutes each day. Before I got it, I had been losing a lot of hair, but to my surprise, after using the box on my head for about a minute every day, after a few days, my hair stopped falling out. Also been using it on my lips last night, where I began to feel an eruption of herpes, and it seems to have stopped it. So that's great. Carolyn said, I wanted to share, see, she had some other things, but I just cut to the chase of the important stuff for us here. Did want to share the results of my recent blood work at Mayo. She's struggling with cancer. In 3 different types of cancer measurements that they take, the marker numbers have gone down. And this is, she specifically wrote about this since using the terahertz. And one test went down by 8 points. I've had my box over a month now, and I use it every day along with the Genius. Just wanted to share that with you. So Carolyn is in a fight with cancer, Benet, and she's had some markers that are starting to get better, and she uses it every single day. She's used it for a month, and her labs are improving. So she's really happy. You're a little muted there, I think.
That is wonderful for sure.
Cheryl says, I got the box recently and I've been running the red light and the blue level on my K1. I think she means and the blue on my K1 point on my left foot, because that is the easiest for me to get to. I do not generally have benefit from energy healing techniques. I've only been doing this for less than 2 weeks, but I am joyously experiencing much higher energy. I like that Cheryl says, I usually don't get benefit from these things, but this I'm getting benefit from. I had the feeling of being very low, and I'm not talking in depression from a high frequency person, but it has been phenomenally impacted her energy. I'm so amazed at the changes that have occurred in me. This has been a major issue. So now I feel blessed to have found the box. Isn't that nice? It's
These
like
are wonderful.
Yeah, it's like she's had a deficiency of something that the energy, the terahertz frequencies have been able to kind of replace for her or put something into her. So she just had this low energy. Now she has this better energy. And a lot of people say that, I use that thing that was supposed to be great. I didn't have any, experience from it. And I always feel a difference from using it. It just feels like you're tapping into something that's very fundamental, some type of frequency that your cells or your being is kind of utilizing immediately.
I think it's because it's going straight down into the bone marrow, where the stem cell, rejuvenation can take place. I think that has a lot to do with it, promoting such circulation with blood. I mean, think of it, just those 2 statements right there. That's probably significantly bringing results.
Okay, my Genius scan hardly has any. Well, this is really cool, Penny. You're a hoot. It's so nice to have you join us. My Genius scan hardly had any red or blue items after now I've been doing wanding for a while. So she's not getting a lot of deep reds and blues from the Genius. I love the reporting of the interaction between the Genius. And we'd love to see some before and after aura photos of anybody who's doing their Genius aura analysis and then wanding themselves, and then show us an after. Maybe we'll make that the next, get a testimonial, but it has to come with a before and after aura. Oh, I'm getting ideas. Okay, we're going to put a coupon code in there. And if you have one and if you have a wand and you want to get a box, you could use this coupon code. And if you have a box and you want to get a wand, you want to get a box, you want to get a wand, you can use this. If you want to get 2 pieces, you can use it as many pieces as you get. You can use that coupon, and it's going to be for a $35 discount. So that is going to be good for the next 48 hours, and you can use it at any time. If you have any issue using the coupon, just give us a buzz, shout, and we'll make sure that we check it, make sure it's in effect, and you can use it. All right, so I think this is also from Cheryl. I've had a robin's egg-sized lump in the fibrous tissue supporting the breast probably close to a year since I noticed it. And of course, if you feel that you need to, you should have a doctor check something out if it's concerning to you. She felt that she could handle it, that she knew it was benign for whatever reason. Again, this has been a short amount of time using the red or blue box settings, and already the lump is thinning out to be absorbed, or one, just sort of dissolving into that band. I'm sure I will be reporting that it's completely gone after a period of time using the box.
Yeah.
A lot of people report lumps and things that they had cysts and things that were
Yeah.
large, and they show pictures in the Facebook groups of them starting to recede.
Exactly.
Again, I mean, it's a lot of it is just waste that builds up in the body. And if we can find a frequency that can help to eliminate the waste, and even more, exciting and wonderful. Karen sent these over. I know you've seen these before, but they're very similar to, this is different, companies and different organizations have different ways that they express how to do the wanding. And we've actually talked about most of these, right? They talk about the wanding, the different points. We've talked about the kidney 1 point. The kidney 1 point is on the soul. This is pericardium 8 that they're showing. The top of the head we haven't talked as much about, but that's governing vessel 20, and that's a very significant point. So if you wanted to do the wand right here, you could do that. And they're showing the point again on the top of the head. And we talked about, these are all the lymphatic drainage points here. So the creases of the elbow, and they're showing the wrist. I don't think we talked about that one. That's another great one to do. And there's a convergence of a lot of meridians right here on the surface of that wrist, the anterior surface of the wrist. And then underneath the arms, that's more lymphatic drainage there. The back of the knee, can't really see what's being shown here, but it's the back of the knee. Then they show the groin. And I guess also we didn't talk about the neck lymphatics. That's a good one as well to do. Just be careful there, because that's a little bit close to the thyroid. So maybe just a couple of quick zip, and then you're done, just to be careful. I mean, even just a few seconds of wanding would be, or using the box would be very, very helpful. And then they show this one, another one that we've talked about, which is going, so instead of doing circles, you kind of do that vertical up and down, up and down, up and down. If you have a stand, has anybody gotten any of the stands that Binet has recommended? And if you've gotten the stand that Binet has recommended, how has it worked for you? We'd love to hear about that. And then we've got in the front, so the one is the governing vessel in the back, and the other is the conception vessel in the front. You could work on those. Those are major points. So actually going through this, just the way that it's written, is pretty good. It's probably something I'm going to have in the little ebook. I haven't completed it yet, but something to that effect, probably starting with maybe the Chinese medicine points, or starting with the lymphatic points. Those are all great to do them on a regular basis, like a routine. It'd be fantastic to use your terahertz wand or box in this way, and terahertz these areas on a regular basis. Okay, another little document that Karen McDonald sent over, just some ideas. So showing that you could use it for knee pain, stomach ache. This looks like a migraine, some type of stomach thing. Oh, this is probably like it's supposed to be. Now, I don't think you're supposed to use it during menstrual cycle. So this shouldn't be menstrual cramps, just be like a tummy ache. I think they say contraindicated for women on their period. And obviously stomach, neck, shoulder, back, elbow. All right. Quantum health technology makes health maintenance easier. This is all translated, and it sounds funny in the translation. Drugs can treat tissue damage, but they cannot restore cell damage. That's an interesting sort of variation there. I would say they just, drugs just don't solve the overall problem. The terahertz wave cell therapy instrument can bring a lot of terahertz wonderful energy to the cell, wake up the body's absorption capacity and relax the muscles, open up the internal circulation and filter the clutter. Cannot hide the traces of time. I guess that really translates to, you can't hide the signs of aging, unless you do something about it, unless you take some actions. And then there's another one that just shows interesting things that they recommend working on: inflammation, dermatitis, rhinitis, laryngitis. Sounds like this could be a rap song. Shoulder and neck pain, gout, stomach pain, menstrual pain, lymphomas, lipomas, presbyopia, myopia, cataracts. Now that's interesting. Um, hmm. What do you think about how would you work on the eyes? Would you work right above here and at the back of the net of the head for the optic nerve?
Yeah, I've seen testimonies where people have said that their cataracts were diminishing and their sight was becoming better. And they blow. Don't open your eyes. They do blow, over the
Like
eye.
right above here.
And don't do it
Above
for a
here,
long, long
and then the
time.
back is where the optic chiasm and the optic nerve is. Yeah, I wouldn't blow. Doesn't make any sense. First of all, don't blow directly on the eyes. Don't blow with the eyes open, and especially don't blow on the eyes if you're wearing contact lenses.
Oh,
Please.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's amazing. I didn't ever thought about it for cataracts. Now, people who, when you're aging, it's interesting when you talk to people, they're like, you don't have cataracts yet. Don't worry, you'll get them. Like, it's like just the rite of passage, just like you're this expected, that you're going to get them. But here you could do something to avoid that damage by terahertzing around your eyes on a regular basis. That would be fun. It's interesting because it's supposed to diminish the effects of free radicals. That's part of what we understand the terahertz to do. Now, definitely, especially macular degeneration. We know that macular degeneration comes as a result of free radical damage. It doesn't say macular degeneration necessarily, but I'm sure it would be part of it. And so if you're trying to prevent macular degeneration, you're trying to get like really high doses of beta carotene and the different antioxidants and make sure they get lutein, right? And get that into your rotation in order to protect the macula. But I would imagine that the terahertz can also be contributory to this, idea of trying to diminish the amount of free radical damage within the eye. And I'm sure that the prevention of cataracts idea must be in a similar vein. Do you think?
I would think so, yes.
Okay, don't worry. So Kate, if you wouldn't mind just waiting until the end of class, we will get you that coupon code all tidied up. Hello, Dr. Tony is here, I think. So hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. It's very nice to have you. We were warmly welcomed. And so we'll take care of that. And everybody's getting their core box. That's super exciting. Getting it in the post soon. And we'll take your questions as well. So anyways, back to this firming skin, lightening pigmentation, reducing scars. Have you heard any stories of people reducing their scars? I guess we heard the age spots are disappearing.
I have heard or seen testimonies of scar reduction. I have.
That's exciting. I wonder what it does when you run the terahertz over places where you have adhesions, from surgeries or any other.
I wonder if that couldn't, in some respect, smooth things out so that,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
But let's get some questions in the rotation. Excuse me as I just tidy some things up here. Let's get some questions in the rotation. What are some common questions, Benet, that you often get or that you're discussing with people as they're making their decision whether they want to get a core box or a wand?
Well, usually like if I'm, dealing with them, I have to start at the very beginning oftentimes and explain the energy, which we don't need for this group, and how that all works. But then if they're trying to decide, say, for example, between the wand and the box, I will point out to them that, the box has got the red light that the wand doesn't. And the elements are in there versus the wand. And I have heard comments that from other people, who've tried them both, most common, I think, they feel from the box a more relaxing, how do they say? They'll use the word relaxing or calming effect off of the box versus the wand. I don't know if that has something to do with the elements that are also included in that. I haven't a clue. but I'll tell them, explain to them the differences. And then, of course, what the benefits, are, where it's going to penetrate to the bone marrow and hopefully do some of the stem regeneration, which that is an uptake everywhere in the body. I mean, you don't need to point the wand or the box exactly where you want that to happen. That's going to be carried through your entire system, with your blood. So that's the kind of stuff that I'll, share with people and then go from there based on their questions.
Okay. And can you think of anybody who has been surprised at how well it's worked for them?
Well, I would virtually say that everybody has been surprised, that I've put a box or a wand in their hands. Because, well, like, for example, the one gal in my office, with me, she ended up buying the wand when I started having the wand. And then, she actually bought the box when the box showed up. But when she had the wand, her teenage son, and you know how you hardly are able to get teenagers to do anything. Okay. But he does play sports. Well, she said over and over to me, I cannot get the wand away from him. Every time I want to use the wand, he's got the wand. So he's basically stole the wand and I may need to get another one. So, I mean, that does say something because like I said, teenagers usually, no. So he experiences pain relief because of the sports that he plays. And he loves the wand. So just a couple of extra things to add there.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I just saw an email that came in from Patricia. Patricia, you should put those things into the chat so we can talk about them. Now, Patricia, I think this is more of a perception issue because let me tell you what she's saying, that she feels like the box is not getting as hot as it used to get. And I think that is a couple of things that it could be. First of all, I think it's perception. Renee, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it is perception. I do agree with that. And why or how far away you are from the skin, because I know that some of the settings on the box, I have to be right, right hovering above the skin. And it's also maybe, are you doing it through clothing or not? That's going to also give you a different sensation. But I think it's just a perception because
I really do, because this thermostat is not going to change significantly and it's not going to deteriorate in a year's worth of hours. It's going to stay exactly the same temperature. Let's go ahead and show a couple of things on here. The other thing is, and I know you're probably very, very good at this, is that it's easy to forget that there are 4 settings on here, and there's a cool setting and a warm setting. And it's also just really easy to get used to this setting very, very quickly. And so your body is going to sort of adapt downward to that perception of the initially where you thought it was hot. And in general, this core box doesn't get that hot because it doesn't need to, because it has 5 terahertz chips in it. Now, if I have my microphone in here, you may not hear this, but let's just go ahead and see. You probably hear it if oh, you can hear it? All right. So we have this on, and there's the red, and then let's see if I can go down like that. None of these work. They're like that. Okay. And then here's the blue light. But it actually has 4 settings. It's really hard to show them here. But if you go to that last, let's see if we can get up here, that last button there, it actually has 4 settings on it. And so it's going to be sort of high fan cool, high fan warm. But even the warmest setting is not that warm. It's sort of just very mild. And so it might have felt warmer in the beginning, but I can guarantee it's not actually the thermostat or the unit itself. If we sent you another one, it would be the same temperature. And we actually are sort of testing. We turn everything on. We test all the warm. We test all the cool before it goes out. But even ones that we've been using for a long time, and I know, Bene, that you've been using, there really is no variation in the temperature.
I think you nailed it more than anything with your last comment. I think, yes, perception, but when you said it's going to feel not as warm when you're using it because your skin is getting used to it. See, and I would agree with that as I'm thinking when I use it.
You adapt to it very, very, very quickly.
That's right. That's the good word right there. Yes. Yeah.
The adaptation. And Agnes says, I find the core box very hot, but that's based on your perception. It could be the health, it could be where your skin is at. Now, Agnes, I want you to promise me you're going to be very, very careful. If it's feeling hot, I want you to move the box much, much further away, because for whatever reason, you're perceiving the hot. I would really urge you to use it on the cool setting right away. Just switch these settings around, use it on the cool. You could still have it on high, but here's the thing. It's going to be just as effective on that cool setting because you're sort of sensitive to the heat anyway. So the cooler setting is going to be better for you. And you've got those 5 chips in the terahertz here. So you're getting everything that you need to receive from this. So run it, do me a favor, please, run it on that cooler setting until you sort of adjust, and maybe a couple of seconds on the warm and then go. But it is an interesting juxtaposition. And both of these gals are from Canada, so that's pretty hilarious. That's not like used to the cold weather or something like that.
The other thought I had, and you address it from a doctor standpoint, and that is, what about people who are on blood thinners where the capillaries are closer to the skin, and you know how it's they bruise very easily? What about those type of people possibly having a stronger sensation of that?
Of course. And they should definitely run it on. I think it's good that the core box has that cool setting with the high fan, because the high fan is going to blow more of the terahertz energy. So that's good. But you don't need to put on the warm to get benefit from it.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll take any other questions that people have. We've talked about people who shouldn't use. We're just going to cycle through some things that we've reviewed before and maybe get to a few other things today. We are going to put some processes together for people. Let's talk a little bit about Benet, how are you using it or how do you recommend that people use it in conjunction with their Genius? Or tell us about a couple of ways that you've used it in conjunction with your Genius.
Especially running it together with the Genius in the meridian aspect, in the meridians, go ahead and blow where the meridians are coming up red and blue for you on the Genius. Also, I like to incorporate the spinal column, and both of those are right on the system overview.
And do you run the frequencies for those things like spinal energy at the same time that you're running the terahertz?
Yes. And even before or after, and during, because you know how it is with frequencies, we can have a longer term effect that is still affecting us even when we stop, what we're doing, what we're using. So yes, I do. But those are
fantastic.
Two big ones, right? Right there.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. I love it. And anybody else who'd like to share a testimonial, if you'd like to share a testimonial, we can open up your microphone and you can still get in on the drawing that we're going to do shortly. So if there's anybody else who'd like to share their experience that they've had with the Terahertz core box or the wand, let us know. Just a review about blue light. Blue light is great for any type of immune boost. So when you're using the blue light, you could use it for an immune boost. We had the report today that this woman used the blue light specifically for her husband's eczema and had really, really good results. All right. Let's see if anybody has anything that they want to share. Okay. Agnes has promised that she's going to be careful and keep things cool. I love it. And red light, go right ahead.
I did have somebody this week tell me their story about varicose veins and spider veins. They have them.
Yeah, please tell us.
And they were saying that they were really pleased since starting to use the terahertz frequencies, that the spider veins are very, very getting much lighter, much unnoticeable. And the bulging, the varicose veins obviously are more bulging. The bulging is going down. And so
Mhm.
she has not even, used the terahertz frequencies for about a month. So she's looking forward to just maybe eradicating both of those to where
That's
she doesn't.
fascinating. That's exactly the picture that we saw last week with
Yeah,
the woman who had the really bulging, I guess, spider veins and or varicose veins, and they were just below the surface. They weren't protruding anymore.
yep,
That's exciting, and that's really a sign that it's increasing the vessel health
yeah,
and it's reducing inflammation.
yeah,
And that's a good sign for the health of your body all around. I mean, it's kind of a miracle. It's so easy to do and it's so pleasant to do. And you don't have to do it for a long amount of time. You really don't need to terahertz for more than, I think, 5 or 10 minutes, but some people kind of go with 15 minutes. I know you do about 15 minutes for your back, right, Benay?
yeah, I do. But I'm going up and down, on
Mm-hmm.
so I'm
Mm-hmm.
not having 15 minutes in the same lumbar section, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I'm going,
Right.
going up and down.
Okay. So we've talked about some different terahertz exercises. The fibula, these are just review, but not everybody comes every week. I actually love this idea of working on this right around the fibular head. And if you don't know, that's right next to this big bone called the tibia. And this is a really pivotal area right here where a lot of people can get locked up. There can be a lot of adhesions. And so if you want to just relax your nervous system, if you want to unwind a little bit, this will be very relaxing to take the terahertz and focus the energy for about 30 seconds or a minute, right rotation, clockwise rotation right around this area. And most people, if they go to that fibular head area that I'm pointing to, even feel that's a little bit sore around there. So that terahertz is going to feel really, really nice, very, very relaxing. And same thing, right? If you took this down to the ankles, those lateral portion of the ankles, that would feel very nice too, very relaxing. So just some other ideas of things that you can do with the terahertz, places that you can utilize it. And yeah, the left and right ankle. So just using it on, you could use it on the external ankle at that lateral malleolus or the interior part as well. And of course, under the foot on kidney 1 is another place. And we've talked about this as well. Clearing the lymphatic channels using the blue light first. Using the blue light first to work on any infections, and then use the red after you've sort of cleared the infections, activate and empower the mitochondria of the body. For this, use up and down sweeps with the fan on high for a full body sweep, and then circular motion to focus on specific lymphatic areas like around the spleen or at the lymphatic chain. Actually, we've talked about this before, sort of at the neck, at the groin, at the folds for the elbows, and so on and so forth. This is going to be wonderful for not getting sick in the wintertime and just feeling better, feeling uplifted, maybe even not getting like seasonal affective disorder because you're kind of just working with the light. Our body needs all types of, light frequencies, and you're just sort of nourishing your body with this red and blue light at the terahertz frequency. And I think your body just responds and kind of knows that it feels good. You want to sort of terahertz a little bit every single day. But the terahertz and the genius, I think, is where it's at. These are two wonderful technologies that do slightly different things, but can work really nicely synergistically. Okay, here's another point we've talked about, but this is the large intestine 11. And so you can see where that is on the outside of the elbow, sort of that lateral side. You can see the thumb side here sticking out. And you can even find, what's really cool about Chinese medicine points is the instant that you find it, it sort of feels kind of like a little bit sticky or it feels a little bit achy. And it's like, yep, you found large intestine 11. So this is good for clearing inflammation from the body, relieves dampness. So dampness is something that we actually really literally do deal with in a damp environment, can cause an internal dampness. And they say that wet and damp environments are among the worst places to be because of the effects on the health. So getting to a little bit of dry is really helpful. Regulates qi and blood, makes you feel more calm and have more energy. And this actually can also help with constipation by bringing water into the colon because it is on the large intestine meridian. And so again, you just take your terahertz and you're at that point and you're just doing a circular motion around there. If you have it on a stand, it's a little bit easier because you could just bring your arm up to that area. Left, it would be left and right, of course. Again, some more about large intestine 11. It is a, let's see if it says anything about it. Yeah, it's good for the digestive tract and the blood, cools heat, alleviates dampness. I love you. You know, if you use this, you won't have to go to your acupuncturist. And it's nice not to go after the acupuncturist. You don't have to do the needles. You can just do the light over the different places. You don't even have to do acupressure. You could just use the terahertz light.
Exactly.
Okay, so would using the groin points be a problem for people with hip replacement, or is it high enough to avoid a problem? You know, you just always want to use your common sense. Maybe not that much, because groin is not too far away. Groin here is pretty close to the hips.
You know what I would do, Ariel?
Yes, tell us. Yeah.
I would, if this is the groin and this is the hip, I would take the terahertz and blow this away.
That's a good idea.
I direct it so it's
Yeah.
you're not, instead of this away, you're blowing it away from the hip that's over here. That's
a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. And use the cooler setting just to be safe.
Yeah.
I've experienced healing with cracked heels and my plantar fasciitis is gone. High five, Agnes. That's really nice. That's, I mean, plantar fasciitis is very uncomfortable. Of course, it's usually worse in the morning. Sometimes can get better with the rest of the day, but in any event, it's not. That really means that connective tissue in that plantar area and along the bottom of the foot is starting to improve, and that's really good news.
Exactly.
Can we transport terahertz water in a stainless steel water bottle? What do you think, Benet?
I got rid of my stainless steel water bottles because that's metal.
That's exactly what I did. I use all glass.
I use all glass. I don't, and in fact, even for my leftovers, I don't, you know, I've got
all of my dogs don't even eat out of stainless steel bowls. They all eat out of glass. They've got glass bowls.
They all have glass bowls. Exactly. Yeah.
Glass is from the earth. Ultimately, it's from sand, and it's very resonant with our bodies. Whereas metal is just sort of the whole metal download. It's problematic on a number of different levels. We could get into go down the rabbit hole on that. All that being said, Agnes, we don't mean to diss on your stainless steel bottle. I'm sure it's super pretty and styling and all of those things. Here's the thing. You could terahertz your water potentially in glass and then pour it into the stainless steel. I definitely don't think I would terahertz in the stainless steel, but it could be like a carrying vessel, especially if you're really fond of it. And I understand the angle there was to start to get away from plastic and have something with stainless steel. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, well, it's not going to break like glass could. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But everything that I would, the genius frequencies, putting the genius frequencies into something, I would do it through glass. And same thing with the terahertz through glass. And then you could cool it down or just let it settle and then pour it into stainless steel for transport.
Yeah.
These are good questions. You know, keep the questions going. We love your questions. And reduces inflammation, strengthens the DNA. The terahertz just seems to resonate with our cells, improving microcirculation. We're really seeing that with those veins. But I think improving microcirculation could be another reason why people notice that their hair stops falling out. Because, you know, part of the thing with the hair, everything, as I've always said, that circulation is the key to everything. Your brain working, obviously your heart working, but even having energy, feeling good, staying young, everything requires adequate circulation for blood to reach, you know, the tiniest capillaries, but they're bringing oxygen to these places. And so when you are able to open up those vessels, you're able to get oxygen to the cells, you know, the capillaries that bring blood to the head and help to keep the hair growth healthy. And when you don't have good circulation, when you have lots of atherosclerosis or problems with the vessels, That's when you have brain fog, and that's when you have hair that starts to fall out. It's not healthy. And so I wouldn't be surprised if part of the impact on the hair is because the terahertz is working on that microcirculation.
Yeah. Yep.
And I wonder, even if you're not terahertzing at the exact location, like let's say you're terahertzing your whole body, but not your head. Maybe this is all you only don't terahertz above your neck for whatever reason. I still think the whole body holding the terahertz frequency, that it probably does affect the vessels in the whole body. What do you think?
Well, absolutely. I've always said that when I explain to clients, you don't have to worry about being sure to get the exact spot, because it's getting through the bone into the bone marrow. You don't have just in this space right here your bone marrow. I mean, it goes through the whole body, you know what I mean? And so the circulation of it all is going to carry those frequencies throughout the whole body. So yes, oftentimes my other girlfriend, who has, both of the devices as well and is a body worker, I mean, she always, before, doing any kind of body work, she'll wand the entire body, I will too, both sides of the body before she actually gets into, doing some manipulations and massage. And it softens the tissues, and it makes her work less that she's really got to do.
That's cool. So she uses the terahertz as a massage therapist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So do I. Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about how you're using it in your practice. Oh, you've been holding back on us here.
Well, I didn't realize I was holding back anything. No, I mean, I always, I do a lot of raindrop therapy, for those of you who are familiar with Young Living. And
well, tell those who are not what raindrop therapy is.
Raindrop therapy is where Young Living, the founder, Gary Young, developed, because somebody had scoliosis. He developed a routine called raindrop therapy, where there's certain motions to help facilitate the spine to decompress, and the oils are doing a lot of the work. He chose about 7 oils that address the circulation, the respiratory, and he was very specific. And the first person he wanted to have and see scoliosis straighten out did.
Yeah, that's amazing. He was such a powerful figure in that way. And a lot of those oils, just for informational purposes, interesting. A lot of them is the oregano, thyme. Is it like sort of like the kitchen spice in raindrop therapy, right?
Yes, exactly. And so before I even get started with that routine, and I also, use tuning forks, that's a whole nother therapy on top of it. But before I even do that, I end up terahertzing, whether I use the box or the wand. I terahertz the whole back, they're laying face.
Wow, that's such a good idea.
And the sides, and maybe down the legs, just depends if they've got any kind of leg issues or whatever. But I definitely will do the whole back, because you're talking about the spine again. The more that you can work on the spine, you're going to affect all of your other organs.
Your whole nervous system is being affected by working from the spine, because all those nerves reach out to all the other muscles, organs, and glands.
And then I'll go to work and I'll do the raindrop therapy. So it's absolutely makes a difference in the body work routine. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a whole other download. You use it at the beginning of if you're an acupuncturist, you could use it at the beginning of your acupuncture session. If you're a massage therapist, you use it at the beginning of your massage. If you're a naturopath, you could use it at the beginning of your naturopathic sessions. Like, that's a really cool download. I absolutely love that idea.
Yeah.
Now we have a question here that Kate says, did you say that this is good for bone regeneration? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think what I said was it penetrates, terahertz frequencies penetrate through the bone into the bone marrow, where the stem cells can be reproduced. So thinking about that, you're the doctor, you can explain the anatomy of all of that better than I can. I imagine that when you generate, more stem cell reproduction and awakening them up and doing whatever, you're having the capability of changing bones, organs, yada, yada. So now take it from there as the doctor.
Well, it's an interesting thought. I mean, anytime you're improving the physiology overall, you're going to help to assist the physiological function. So if the frequencies are helping with everything that would help the bone to the different osteoclasts in order to create new bone tissue, I would think if you're running terahertz frequencies over places where the osteoclasts would be active, that you would have a positive impact from terahertz frequencies. Now, it hasn't been studied yet, but it just makes common sense given everything that we know about the terahertz frequencies. So I would absolutely try to see how it works.
Exactly. And here again, like at the top of the hour, Dr. Ariel started saying this, but I'm going to reemphasize it. Use this every day. Use this regular. Don't think that you're going to use this and see the results in a week. And then when you don't, you're sad. No, this is an ongoing tool to benefit you on an ongoing basis. Do we pick up the genius once a month and expect a great, a wonderful, great big enlightenment? No, we use it with regularity. Same thing with these tools. Same thing.
That's awesome. Very well said. Well, let's do a couple more things before we go for the day. So let's think of a couple of things that we want to do here. I'm trying to figure out where I need like a whiteboard almost. So for next week, if we get your before, I don't know if anybody will submit this, before doing a session or a picture, and then you'd have to re-record your voice and picture, and then after a session, before and after, but we need sort of some kind of testimonial with that. So before and after or a picture, and give us a few words about how the terahertz is making a difference in your life and what type of improvement. Might have to extend that for a couple of weeks and announce it, because that's a big ask, right? Before or a picture, after or a picture, or maybe I'll describe it in a follow-up newsletter or email. And then just a testimonial along with that. We'd love to get that, because then we can show those wonderful aura pictures before and after. And have you ever done that? Have you ever taken a before picture before, like if your back was hurting you, and then do one after terahertzing?
I have to be honest, and I should, but
Well, no, maybe you can do it this week just for in honor of us doing it as a contest. Or life is busy. I totally understand that. All right, I want to put the link here for, I'm just not sure ever if it links to my account to do this, or if I can actually list it. Maybe I just list what it says here, or I'll try to link it maybe as an incognito. I'll figure it out one way or the other. So what I'm going to be linking is a flat iron hair straightener case in just a moment here.
now Wendy is asking, will the wand fit the carrying case? You've got it. I don't think so. It's too
No,
short.
was she talking about the little bag that comes in but she would have already checked that out.
Oh, that's what she means. The carrying bag. Okay. All right.
But you would have thought she would have already tried to put it in the bag, or maybe she is talking about the case. Wendy, you're gonna have to clarify for us, what
Well,
is it that you mean? What comes in the package there, or what is it that you're asking? If you're talking about the carrying case, let me see if this comes through. I'm gonna try to put this in there. Oh, the bag that you're posting. All right, so here's
a case, not a bag. She's both.
Yeah, this is the case for the core box. I think the trick with the wand is you wouldn't want to carry the wand. Let's see if that came through. Let me know if you can click on that one, Binay, or does it go to, is it like a personalized link?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, good. Yeah, so it's like a flat iron hair straightener case. And this is the one that I was showing in the beginning. And like I said, it's nice and sleek, nice and slim, and it just holds it perfectly. It's like a good width for it, and it's just, you'll look styling and profiling when you're walking through the restaurant with your core box or the party or whatever. Not that you would do that. So yeah, anyway, the thing with the wand is what you want to do, let me see if I can pause. No, not this. Stop the share here. Yeah, okay. So with the wand, you wouldn't really want to put the whole wand into, you'd want to break it into the pieces and then find a box that would fit it in the two pieces. Don't you agree, Vinay? You'd want
I agree. And when you take that apart, if you take that apart, please be careful of the front end of the nose of that thing. That's got the crystal quartz in it.
Okay,
And
so you want to really hold this right here and pull it. Make sure you're holding this. Make sure it doesn't drop because this could break the quartz, right?
exactly. And if you break that, you have to get a whole new wand.
Yeah.
The big
And that's
thing.
once again, we're going to say, just as we have it now, be very, very careful with this because the front is very, very sensitive. So get a case and keep it in the case, and that's going to keep it super uber healthy for you, working for years and years to come. So we got the case, and what we're going to do is we're going to run another contest. We'll give away something either next week or the week afterwards if we get a before and off and after. Would the wand fit if you take it apart? I don't think it's going to fit into this case, but just because of the width of it, but what the hey, like we could try. Let me just see, kind of get an idea here, because this is pretty slim. Let's see. Will the
diameter of the motor on the wand fit in that box?
it does, but I don't know if it'll close up pretty. Oh, you know what? It's actually pretty good. Let me see if I can get the whole enchilada in here. And I think the GFCI of it is just going to be a little bit problematic, but I'm going to just talk and do that at the same time. But we're going to do our giveaway in just a moment for this week. For people who sent in their testimonial, they're going to get a stand and a case sent to them. And then we'll try to find a prize. But yeah, if you can send us your before and after aura pictures, we would love it. It really helps our community. And we'd love to hear, if you can't do that, or at least send us your testimonials and tell us your story. It was so fun to hear people's experience today, really.
It's always good to hear these testimonies. And, that's the whole excitement of it, is if we can have everybody start giving more testimonies, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we really, really need the testimonies. Maybe we'll give away some slides, Deborah, as if people hand in their testimonials, we could give them away as a giveaway. Right now, I'm not sharing the slides, but if there's one particular picture or something you need, Deborah, I'm open to the idea. Let me know what you need. I don't share all my slides just because they take a while to work on, but I am trying to publish some of the processes in an ebook that's going to be given away for free. So we are trying to give away a lot of free resources. Guess what, Wendy? It totally fits in here.
Really?
Yeah, at 100% fits. We'll show the receipts if we can without it dropping out. So let's see.
Gosh.
In there it is.
Oh my goodness.
Vinay, you're too popular. Your phone rings off the hook there. So then you just close it up and you're ready to rock and roll. And I'm surprised because it's such a flat thing. But yeah, you could, if you have the wand and the box, you could order 2 of these. So we just gave the link for that. It's like $14. And we'll probably carry them, but you can easily get them on Amazon. And that's the all right, so Wendy says, yay. Well, Wendy, I'm glad we made you happy, but also I'm glad you asked that question. That was a very good question to ask. So let me see if I can pull up the thing here I need to pull up. Okay, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're going to give away a case and a phone stand. Each person's going to get those 2 things. Wow, that's a pretty good gift, huh? So Benay, pick a number between 1 and 5.
3.
All right, well, that's going to be Isabel. So Isabel is one of the winners. And I need you to pick a number between 1 and 5 that is not 3.
1.
And that's going to be Anne. So Isabel and Anne are the big winners of the phone stand and the case. That's a pretty good thing. They're going to get it shipped for free. And so we'll do another giveaway next week of something a little different. We'll kind of noggin on what it's going to be, but we really need your testimonials. So please send them to Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. We love your testimonials. We'll do another contest. And we'd love your before and after picture. Maybe I'll do a before and after picture. Maybe you could do one. And Benay, at least we could have our 2 for next week.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So let's just do a couple of different things here. So we do have the coupon. It's now going back to Kate, it's all fixed up and ready to roll. If you want to use that particular coupon, you can use it for as many units that you get. It'll take off that amount for as many as you get. If you get a wand and so forth, wand and box, a dozen wands, it'll take it off a dozen times, that kind of thing. And make sure that everybody has the link. If you're watching the recording, the links are going to be in the YouTube description and maybe pinned in the comments as well. Any final thoughts for the week as we get ready? I'm just going to share the Terahertz links. Everybody has those as well.
Well, once again, just remember consistency, consistency, consistency. And it's just like with the Genius. We use that very consistently. And the more we have use of it consistently, the more we see results. So that's probably the big thing that we could emphasize this week, you know, for people, so they don't get something that they've spent that kind of money on and be discouraged, you know. So know that ahead of time, and you will receive results. I mean, you know, I've been at this now for more than 9 months. It might be time slipped away from me. I might have had the wand already a year. So
for people who are watching, if you're international, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, France, Sweden, Switzerland, wherever it might be, we absolutely can get a core box or a wand to you in the type of voltage that you need, 220, 230. So at one time we weren't sure if we were able to get them. Now we're absolutely able to get them in those voltages. So we love and, you know, welcome our international folks. And of course, Canada, that's a slam dunk. That's easy. So we can basically send them anywhere. We're so happy to be able to provide you ongoing training. Everyone's welcome. You could bring a friend, and we'll be back next week at the same time. So Benet, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and share, especially about your practice. I love that tip about your practice. You're probably getting amazing results just by employing the terahertz every time.
yeah, you do. And I didn't mean to hold out. I just didn't even think about talking about it. Yes.
All right, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Benet. You have a good night too, and we'll talk again soon.